Create your best life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Create your best life.
Episode 14, The Importance of Mental Health in Our Elderly. Welcome to today's episode, where we look at shining the light on a crucial topic, the mental health and well-being of our elderly community. How creative activities can provide a much-needed respite for many different reasons. And why does this matter? Well, mental health isn't just for the young. It's just as vital for our elders, who often face unique challenges. Many older adults have lived remarkable lives, full of stories and experiences, yet they may feel overlooked, lonely, or even isolated. Simple activities and genuine connections can make a world of difference, sparking joy and restoring a sense of purpose. Our goals of this podcast is to explore how we can support our elderly with meaningful engagement and social activities, understand how creative programs and friendly connections can help improve mental health, learn ways we can all contribute to creating a caring, inclusive environment for elders in our communities. So stay tuned, whether you're a caregiver, a family member, or community leader. This conversation brings the spark back to those who need it the most. So today, we're diving into the world of Grumpy Joe, a character who might just remind you of someone you know. You know the type, all scowls and grumbles, but deep down, there's a heart just waiting to be discovered. And I'm not suggesting that all grumpy people are open to change, nor that there is one single solution for everyone. But isn't it worth seeing if you can help someone see a difference in the way to be happy and live a more fulfilled life? Grumpy Joe's story. All right, let me tell you about a pivotal moment in Grumpy Joe's life. One sunny afternoon, Joe was minding his own business, grumbling about the noise from the park, when he stumbled upon a colourful flyer flapping in the wind. It read, "Join the creative community group, all skill levels welcome." Now, Joe wasn't the artistic type. His idea of creativity was rearranging his tool shed. But something about that bright flyer tugged at him. Maybe it was the promise of free snacks, or maybe it was the fact that if he tired of feeling alone in his grumpiness, and against his better judgment, he decided to check it out. When Joe arrived at the community centre, he was greeted by a room full of enthusiastic faces, people painting, knitting, and even a group attempting to create a collage of a village scene, all made from odds and ends like material, wool, ribbon, and plastic bottle tops. Joe crossed his arms, ready to scoff, but then he spotted a guy struggling with a paintbrush. The man's canvas was wild, swirling mess of colours everywhere. "Looks like a disaster," Joe muttered under his breath. But as Joe watched, the man stepped back, his eyes lighting up. "It's supposed to represent the chaos of life," he explained. Joe couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. Chaos? More like a toddler threw up on it. Just then, the group leader, a bubbly guy named Max approached Joe. Hey there, want to give it a try? Feeling oddly challenged, Joe grabbed a brush. With his usual scepticism, he started splattering paint, and to his surprise, it did feel quite liberating. In fact, he laughed as he created a wild mess that looked nothing like art, but felt like freedom. As the weeks went by, Joe returned to the group. He shared stories, grumpy ones, of course, and he even helped others with their projects. The laughter and camaraderie were contagious, and for the first time, he felt part of something bigger than his complaints about life. By the end of the month, Joe's once monochrome world was splashed with colour, both on his canvas and in his heart. He learned that creativity wasn't just about perfecting a piece of art, but about expression, connection, and joy. So, what did Grumpy Joe take away from the creative journey? That life is messy, and sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Plus, he found that the best way to shake off grumpiness is to create and connect with others. Who knew a little paint could brighten up his world? But here's the twist. Joe's world gets flipped upside down when a series of wild events unfold, starting with a neighbourhood potluck. One sunny Saturday, the whole block was buzzing with excitement. Joe was in his usual grumpy mood, avoiding the festivities. He preferred the comfort of his recliner over socialising with the neighbours that he barely knew. But then, as fate would have it, the neighbour's cat, Mr. Whiskers, decided it was time for an adventure. While the potluck was in full swing, Mr. Whiskers made a daring escape through an open window. Chaos erupted. Guests gasped, plates clattered, and suddenly everyone was chasing after the fluffy escape artist. Joe, sitting on his porch, couldn't help but chuckle at the ridiculous scene unfolding before him. And as the cat darted from yard to yard, Joe noticed that his neighbours, once strangers, are actually working together, laughing and yelling instructions to each other. He felt an odd tug in his heart. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to join in. He stood up and, without fully realising it, found himself joining in the fray. Quick, someone grab that box of treats, shouted a woman he'd only waved to before. Joe, surprising even himself, ran to grab the treats and held them high. Mr. Whiskers, treats, he called out. And soon enough, the cat was captured amidst a flurry of laughing and cheers. With Mr. Whiskers safely back home, the mood shifted. Everyone returned to the potluck, and Joe found himself being welcomed into conversation, neighbours thanking him for his help, and suddenly he was sharing a table with folks he'd only ever exchanged grumbles with. Joe, you saved the day, said Max, the group leader from the creative community group. You've got a knack for this teamwork thing. And before he knew it, Joe was swapping stories about his love for gardening and listening to others share their quirks and hobbies. He even discovered that his next door neighbour, Clara, was a fellow fan of classic rock, and they bonded over their favourite bands. As the evening wore on, Joe realised how different the atmosphere felt. He had always seen his neighbours as annoying distractions, but now they felt like a community. And by the time the potluck wrapped up, Joe was laughing and joking with people he'd once avoided. When he returned home, something had shifted. His usual quiet and grumpy self felt lighter. And that night, Joe sat in his garden reflecting on the day. He didn't just help catch a cat, he found connections, and that had been waiting just outside his door. In the following weeks, Joe made an effort to engage more. He started greeting neighbours when they passed by and even invited Clara over for a small jam and scone and tea. And slowly, those little interactions transformed into friendships, and the grumpiness that once cloaked his life began to lift. Joe discovered that life was so much richer when shared, and his home became a happier place. He learned that sometimes all it takes is a little chaos, a daring cat, to bring people together. So let's reflect on today's episode. We explored the importance of supporting the mental health of our elderly, recognising, like all of us, they need meaningful connection, purpose, and respect. So the takeaways from today is that small acts, even from creative examples to simple conversations, can create a lasting impact. And it's clear that prioritising social connection and engagement for our elders helps combat loneliness, builds confidence, and fosters joy. So let each take a step forward, whether it's spending a little more time with an elderly loved one or volunteering in our community. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for tuning in. We hope today's discussion inspired you to help create a happier, more connected world for our elders. So join us next time for some more insights and meaningful living and connection. And remember to like, subscribe, and share your feedback on how you found the episode. Until next time, let's share the beauty of creativity.
Create your best life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Create your best life. Join me on a journey, one that's right for you. To be yourself, to sparkle and shine in everything you do. Create your best life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Create your best life. Join me on a journey, one that's right for you. To be yourself, to sparkle and shine in everything you do. Create your best life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Create your best life. Join me on a journey, one that's right for you. To be yourself, to sparkle and shine in everything you do. Create your best life. Oh, yeah. Create your